everyone, it's Tedley here, and this is I Like to Watch RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12. I'm a Drag Race superfan, I'm a reality TV superfan. You know I was so obsessed with this show I had to get on Logo TV back in the day.
Tedley from Minneapolis, Minnesota has tried a couple times tonight to check in with us.
I've met the greatest of the greatest and the best of the best, and I'm ready to break down every episode. This is I Like to Watch. Hey everyone, it's Tedley, and we are on to episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12. So last week we were all shocked by the drama of Sherry Pie and all of the information that surfaced about that. She is the luckiest bitch because within this week and last week, the world has ran out of toilet paper. We are going through a crisis. The RuPapocalypse is amongst us. So first things first, the queens met up together and they sized each other up essentially. The queens were like on this side, they're like, oh, you know, how good are you? Can you do this? Can you do that? Gigi, of course, was like, name it. Another thing that people have pointed out is that once again, Jan is making a reality TV quote. So this time, 5 New York girls is the exact same thing that Yuha Hamasaki said on her season of Drag Race. And also last week, I don't know if all you guys caught it out there, but she also courted Tiffany New York Pollard from Flavor of Love from back in the day. I also have to give kudos to Jan for being my reality TV drag queen. Widow is definitely top 4 material. Hey girl, I hear you and I agree. I think Widow's gonna go super far. I saw her performing, I saw her working. She's definitely gonna be up there. Widow definitely Ooh, I touched my face, I have the coronavirus. But so they were definitely sizing each other up. The one team acted like a team and the other team admitted guilt to causing drama. I think it's smart as fuck to be seen as a unit and not tell them they've been fighting. Thank you. Yeah, why would you tell your competition that you guys have been the weaker side and you know they're gonna like point at all those queens in the future and be like, oh, weak. They already admitted it, and they're gonna see all those queens no matter what. Yes, Queens A, don't reveal the tea. I'd do drugs with crystal method if she asked me, to be honest. Why am I suddenly live tweeting Drag Race? Because you're desperate for attention. As soon as the pit crew came through the door, we saw they were going to put them from top to bottom. Oh, y'all, some of y'all thirsty bitches out there thought they were gonna be topping and bottoming each other or something. Now, Widow, who she chose to be her strongest competition was Sherry Pie, and then who she chose to be the weakest was Aiden Zane. And then it was Jaden's turn to pick, and of course, her fiercest competition she felt was Gigi Good, and she called it right because the fans at home are screaming to the high heavens in their fandom craze for Gigi Good because she is clearly the fan favorite. And then her choice for the weakest was Heidi N. Closet. And I'm not surprised at that moment, but basically she said Heidi N. Closet was her choice for weakest. In a wonderfully awesome plot twist, the bottom 2 girls got to be team captains as well, and they were gonna split off into groups as 4 for a World's Worst challenge, which is basically kind of like a joke on American Idol, or like America's Got Talent, like a live talent show with a fabulous judging panel. I will list off the leader, then their first pick, then their last pick, and we will review it that way because there is so much going on with their choices. Starting off with Jaden, she picked Jan and Dahlia, which I think were actually pretty strong choices because Jan is already popping off with all that personality. And then Dahlia, of course, is from the House of Aja, and she's popping and she's crazy and she's fun. So that was actually a pretty good pick in my book too. They were seen like a solid, good group. Widow was the team leader, and she picked the French goddess, Nikki Doll, and she also picked her Missouri hometown hero, Crystal Method. And that was definitely a strange group, but you know, sometimes chemistries work in strange ways, and I definitely see support and connection between the 2 Missouri girls, especially with Widow. She's all singing the high praises for Crystal Method, and I'm loving that sisterhood. Now, Heidi N. Closet, I don't know where she is coming from, but she picked the best group as far as like statistically who could take her the farthest. So it was Heidi N. Closet, Gigi Good, and Jackie Cox. So she picked 2 really good competitors who have a really high chance of taking her the farthest, and she made some really good choices. And so Aiden picks Sherry Pie and Britta, who are the 2 queens that seem to have the reputation online for some predatory behavior. And the last person left who was not chosen was Rock'em Sakura, which I don't really understand, but maybe you had to be there in the room to figure it out because she was last picked, so she clearly has some character deficiency in person that they're not showing us through this edit. But she is super funny on the show how they're presenting her, but so how come nobody picked her then? She clearly, in my opinion, would have been a front runner for an entertainment, just off-the-cuff challenge. So what exactly was going on there? But so later on in the episode, we saw that she was very self-doubtful and she didn't know if she wanted to be the orange. Speaking of orange and the challenge, so basically they split up into their groups to decide who was going to review the script or whatever and who was going to be who. And of course there's always some drama with who's going to be which character. And this time it was about Jaden being the bad apple versus Rock'em Sakura, who was going to be the orange. And Jaden wasn't going to take that shitty ass role. That was weak as fuck. Orange is the new Black China. Ornacia was back, she was looking good, she had a brand new body to go with her face, and they also brought Charo too. Charo's been on this show so many times, seriously, from season 1 beyond, she has probably made the most guest appearances. So then it got to the team challenges and the groups, and up first was Heidi and Closet's team, which was a group of old ladies? So basically, they were a bunch of queens who were trying to be like old and at the end of their rope and everything, and I think Gigi Good was supposed to be dead and shit. But so that was quite entertaining. They were actually probably one of the strongest after you've seen them all together, and Heidi and Closet once again proved that she is here to make it far and do a good job. I'm actually really impressed with her, and I'm excited to see what else she's gonna pop off with. She did chicken noises, she's done good on this challenge, she's danced on her head. What else can she do? I'm excited to see more of Heidi Ho, Heidi and Closet, whatever the hell her name is. The next team was Widow Von Du with her Girl Scout cookie team, where they, like, I don't know what their whole thing was supposed to be, but it was really wonky and confusing and strange. It was definitely not the best one at all. And Widow did okay, I guess, but the other two definitely floundered. Okay, and so then the next team up was the people dressed up as the fruit. I thought I was watching an underwear commercial, you know, some Hanes Fruit of the Loom shit or something like that. The drag edition, you know, for 2020, they gotta switch shit up. But so I was basically watching this one, and at the end of it, it seemed kind of like the Snatch Game Season 4, where it just became the romper room bullshit. And it was basically people fighting and hitting each other and going crazy and off the wall and shit. And I wasn't exactly sure what was going on at all anymore. Or if it was even supposed to be the script, or if this was just some off-the-cuff craziness that just happened on stage. I wasn't exactly sure. So this one, to me, was kind of in the middle of the road. And then, so the last group was Aiden Zane, and her queens did the "We're 3 queens with 1 brain." And it was actually kind of interesting. It was kind of unique and conceptual. If it was with different queens on the team, of course we would be a little more excited about it. But so it was basically like a really strange concept. They managed to pull it off, and apparently the judges liked it, but I didn't really care for the whole storyline or anything like that. The fact that they actually did manage to like stay in sync with each other was commendable though. Then we got to the runway, and there were just a couple looks that stood out to me this time. There weren't so many where I was blown away, but there was a good couple, including first off, Jan with the Mimikyu Pikachu Pokemon voodoo doll look. Well, that's what I got out of it. I thought she was supposed to look like Mimikyu. But so I definitely thought that was one of the fiercest looks. For a second I thought I was watching Dragula. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I was super impressed with Jan and her fierce, gothy look. Also, of course, another good one was Rock'em Sakura, who was doing like an Alice in Wonderland look, and her outfit and her body shape and everything and her makeup to me is reading as a superstar, and it looks like it's high budget and high quality, or high enough quality. I am impressed with what she's pulling out, and I don't know what these other queens were seeing or whatever, but I'm still super impressed with Rock'em Sakura. And then actually another look that I was impressed with was Nikki Doll, who had like this Cinderella look where it was like this loose bow off the shoulder, and then she had this like invisible peekaboo dress where you could see her legs and everything. And so that was actually a good look too. I was feeling that. So I was thinking that she was doing a good job as well. I'm not really that big a fan of Nikki Doll yet. She's had a few little good jokes here and there, but I'm not completely 100% sold on her personality. I fucking have to admit that one of my favorite looks this night was Sherry Pie, and I can't believe that we still have to talk about her because she's on the show, but this look was so good. And I mean, she probably just paid for it or had another designer make it. If you're the designer who did it, kudos to you, because you don't deserve to be put on blast because of her. So this was an amazing look, and I'm super happy for whoever put Sherry Pie together tonight. The lip sync for your life was against Nikki Doll and Dahlia Sin. Dahlia Sin of the House of Aja, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen here? Is she gonna do some dippin' poppin'? Is she gonna do a death drop? Is she gonna do the splits? Is she gonna get on a big old platform and then is she gonna drop from there? We'll find out. We did find out. So basically we were watching the lip sync, and you always know when in the editing they show a huge scene of one of the queens forgetting the lyrics that she is not gonna stay, and they definitely did that to poor Dahlia Sin, and she was about to be on the way to go. This was a really weak lip sync. This lip sync could have been much better. It could have been way more entertaining. They could have done a better job, both of them. But so when it came down to it, the person that Ru sent home was Dahlia Sin, the first to go home of this season, and she just stormed off the set. She was not having it. Like, they left the clacking of her heels on in that editing footage. They let her thump, thump, thump on the way out. I had no idea it was gonna be Dahlia going home first, and I really did like her as a drag queen. I think it kind of sucks that she's going home first because she does not need to be put in that position. But you know what? There's always All-Stars. There's always my hopes for a redemption season where they bring like the first ones to go home back or something. That would be amazing, and maybe she'll be there for that because they need to bring Soju back too. We'll see what happens there, but that is the elimination. All right, everybody. Well, that was this week's episode of my RuPaul's Drag Race vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll definitely see you guys next week for more craziness, more coronavirus quarantine, and more RuPaul's Drag Race.